Hi, I'm Jamie, and welcome back to my channel, Jamie Sage Knits. This week, I decided to film a week in my life as a knitter, or a week of knitting, whatever I want to call it. And I haven't seen a video exactly like this, but it's kind of inspired by some videos I've been enjoying recently of like people vlogging, I want to knit this sweater in 1 week, or just like knitting vlogs in general. Thus far, I've only made like podcasts and pattern inspiration videos, which has been super fun, but I thought it'd be cool to kind of show you like what goes on in between, how the progress happens. And I have a pretty full knitting whip selection right now, so I thought it'd be a fun time to do this. So today is a Wednesday. I'm filming this midday. Thus far, I've been working on my Fat Timeless sweater in a couple of meetings this morning because it's very mindless, so I don't have to look at it. It's literally just stockinette for the sleeve, and the sleeve is coming along well. But yeah, I'm going to share a few of my goals for this week of knitting, and then I think I will kind of bring you along for the ride, do little update clips, show you what I'm working on. And like I said, this will be a pretty full week. So the thing I'm probably the most excited for is my BB sweater. I've been talking about that in my podcast and everything. So my first goal is to finish my BB sweater. I will show a clip, probably a little later. I am on the collar, which is the last part. It's knit bottom up, and then I knit the sleeves, and then I picked up sleeves for the stitches for the collar. I've been knitting it up. It's 2x2 rib, 26 centimeters. I don't think I'm gonna knit 26 centimeters. I think I'm at like 13 now, and I need to be more than halfway. I'll probably try it on when I get to like 21, 22 centimeters, and hopefully I'll just be able to end there. I don't love like super high turtlenecks anyway. So yeah, goal 1, finish the BB sweater. I want to block that ideally on Friday or Saturday at the latest. And today is Wednesday. So I need to finish the collar, bind off. I'm going to try to do this new strategy of braiding in all of the ends rather than weaving them in. Or not braiding them in, but like making a braid on the inside because it's a loose sweater. So we'll see how that goes. Block it. I also am thinking I want to block this self-drafted vest that I made last winter that I never blocked. It's a mix of wool and acrylic, so I'm a little skeptical of how it will block out, but it's a bit too tight, and I really want to get more wear out of it this season. So that is potentially on the agenda. And then next goal, Fat Timeless sweater. I want to finish the first sleeve. I want to at least pick up stitches for the second sleeve. Ideally, I will finish both. We'll see how that goes. I also want to start working on the first sleeve of my caramel sweater. I have that on hold. I recently got a set of these shorties, like really short tips and short cords that make a 16-inch circumference. And so I set that up for my caramel sweater, and I want to see how that goes, just kind of revisit the pattern, learn about the decreases and stuff like that. If I could finish the first sleeve of the caramel sweater this week, or at least see how long that takes me, that would be awesome. But my basic goal there is just to figure out what that will be like, get a little bit more of a sense there. I also want to get to maybe the 3/4 point on my muscle burra hat. I would say I'm maybe like approaching halfway. That's a pretty quick and fun knit. I don't necessarily need to finish it this week, but I want to keep things going there. And then lastly, there's a lot here. Lastly, I want to gauge swatch and cast on for the Arundel test knit that I am doing. I have, I think, still almost about 2 months to do this test knit. But I do want to get the ball rolling. I received my yarn for that. And so I do want to get started there. So that is everything. What is that? BB sweater. I don't know if we need to count blocking the vest as a goal. So BB sweater, Fat Timeless sweater, caramel sweater, muscle burra hat, cast on, the test knit. So we have 5 goals there. I don't think any of those goals are like too lofty, but all together, that might be a lot. So we'll have to see how things go and how I decide to split my time. So I will update you soon before I go. I don't know if I'll be wearing the sweater later. This is my Wishbone sweater by Kujifakika. Talked about this in a previous podcast. It has a funnel neck, but I knit too large of a size. So if I have the neck up, it just has like a lot of fabric here. And it's like a small change, but if I just roll the neck up, I feel like it lays a lot nicer, and I actually really like it. So this is how I usually wear it, and it is like falling forward a lot. I don't know. I mentioned in the podcast I should have just not made an oversized version, but I do love it. It's so beautiful. It's very cozy. It's not too itchy. I'm not very sensitive to scratchiness, so this is like the drops mohair, and it's against my neck, and I'm chilling. So just wanted to mention that, and I will see you soon. Okay, so I have about 15 minutes before my next meeting. I'm not gonna lie to you, I really want to work on my muscle bra hat, which is right here. So it's coming along. It's in this beautiful fingering weight yarn, which is the butternut sock yarn from Northwoods Fibers in the color Reef Life. I love it so much. It's just so fun seeing how the little flecks work up, but I'm gonna be good. I'm going to work on my baby sweater. I think I can get like 2 rounds done in this time, which, you know, just chipping away at this collar, it's gonna fold over. So I will work on that. Just wanted to hop in for an update. Sorry for the weird lighting. It's very overcast today. I just had a little break between meetings, and I was able to finish up the Fat Timeless sweater sleeve. I tried it on. It seemed very nice length, so I'm just casting it off, and then I'll hop into another meeting in a couple minutes. But I'm very excited to have the sleeve finished. It was much faster than I expected. I'm used to knitting on like 3.5, 4 millimeter needles. 6 millimeter needle stockinette is flying by. Hello, coming to you with an update. It's now Wednesday evening, finished up work. It's a little after 5 p.m. It is pitch black outside. Gotta love daylight savings. But I just finished casting off the sleeve for the first sleeve for my Fat Timeless sweater. Oh, and you see my baby sweater chilling with me on the couch. I think the length of this is pretty perfect. I actually don't know if I'm gonna block this because it's cotton and brushed alpaca, so it's kind of perfect without blocking. Could be like a ½ inch longer, so it could grow a little bit with blocking, but I love it. It's very like loose. There's no increases or decreases. It's just like an open sleeve, so I love it. Very cozy. I think I'm gonna do the collar next, actually, before I go on to the other sleeve, and I probably should be working on my baby sweater on the collar, but I'm procrastinating. So I'm gonna at least pick up the stitches for the collar here, and then maybe I will force myself to do a few rounds on the BB sweater collar. I did calculate, I think based on how long it's taken so far, I probably do need to work on it for at least like 2 hours tonight, if I want to block it by Friday, I think it was. If I do like 2 hours today, 2 hours tomorrow, and then like an hour and a half on Friday. I don't know why it takes me so long to do 2x2 rib, but to be fair, it is, it's on 2.5 millimeter needles, and I'm doing it on DPNs. So it is a slow process. So I'm gonna work on picking up the stitches for this collar, and I will be back soon with an update. Hello, good morning. It is Thursday morning, and I'm tuning in before work, trying on my Fat Timeless sweater. I've been working on the collar this morning. It's knit pretty quickly. It's gone a little wonky on this cord. I feel like it is a little too, I don't know. All right, I might do like 1 or 2 more rounds and then bind off. Yeah, I'll do 1 or 2 more, and then I will work on the second sleeve. Hello. Oh, it is Thursday around 1 p.m. I'm checking in. I had a chance between some meetings to work a little bit on my Fat Timeless sweater. So the collar is done and bound off. I have started on the second sleeve. I finished the short rows, and now I'm just in a long time of stockinette in the round. I have been a little naughty because I think I mentioned my goals. I think my goal is just to finish the first sleeve and cast on, like pick up stitches for the second sleeve, but I have just been enjoying like the easy win of this sweater. It's just stockinette on 6mm needles, so I have indulged myself in that. But what's gonna happen now is I'm going to put this down, I'm going to make lunch, get groceries, and then when I get back, I'm going to work on my BB sweater collar. I'm not gonna let myself procrastinate or avoid it anymore. I've had my fun with my stockinette, and I'm going to probably not finish that 2x2 rib, but I'm going to try to finish at least half of what I have remaining, so then I can finish the other half tomorrow. So I will check in on that soon. Hello, checking in. It's about 3:45 on Thursday afternoon. Got my groceries, and I am sitting down with my BB sweater. I have a couple of calls with friends planned to catch up, and I will be chugging away at the collar ribbing, and I will be enjoying this kombucha that has a new flavor, blood orange. Never seen before. I really love this kombucha brand and was excited to pick up a new one as a little knitting treat. So I will check in soon, hoping to get maybe like 6 centimeters of ribbing done today. Maybe 5. Let's say 5 centimeters of ribbing, and I'll check in soon. Bye. Hello. Coming to you Thursday night around 8:30. Obviously some things have changed. I knit on the neck for a couple hours. I take a break to shower and wash my hair and eat dinner. And then I put this on a cord to try it on. And I'm glad I did, because it is, I think, around 20 centimeters. The pattern calls for 26, but I feel like it is all set. I guess if it were a couple centimeters more, it might come up to like here, but I don't like too tall of a turtleneck. So I'm really glad I tested it. I feel like this is perfect. I feel like I could do with it being a little lower, honestly, but I think the ribbon will loosen a lot when I block it, I would imagine. So it might sit like a little lower and looser, but I think it is basically perfect. So I'm gonna bind it off and braid the ends. Hello, it is Thursday evening around almost 11 p.m. I just finished casting this guy off, or this girl. I have not woven in the ends yet, but I will do so tomorrow. And then I think this has a lot of room to block out. The neck in particular is very tight, but I'm hoping and assuming that it'll block out, especially because the yarn I used has some alpaca content. So I think it'll really relax. I'm excited to see how the colorwork portion goes, because currently the fabric is like a bit stiff. So we will see. Tomorrow morning I will weave in the ends and set it up to block. But another goal nearly reached. Very exciting. Hello, it is Friday morning around 9 o'clock. I don't work on Fridays, so I slept in a little bit today, and I've just been getting ready. I am going to weave in or braid the ends of my BB sweater. That will be my main task upcoming, and then I also want to go through some kind of old, like, basic scarves and hats that I have that I knit years ago before I got into garments, but it's just like not my current style or favorite. So I'm gonna go through those. I've saved a lot of them for like gift giving, and I'm gonna see if there's any that I would like to donate. If so, I probably will try to head to a yarn store that's kind of close by to me. It's like at least easy to get to, that I know or I think accepts donations, like knitted items, and then they coordinate with like a homeless shelter or something like that. So I think that would be really nice as we're heading into the winter season. So I'm going to sort through those. I probably will have to seam a few cowls that are knit flat, and then I have to clean the apartment. I have to prepare for a dinner party that I'm hosting tonight, which I'm excited for. But yeah, in terms of knitting, I'm definitely gonna finish up the BB sweater, decide whether to block it, I might continue with the fat timeless sweater or maybe pick up the caramel sweater and work on the sleeve for that, and I will keep you updated. Bye. Alrighty, it took a little more than 30 minutes, but all of the ends are woven in. Actually, not all of them. I was like pretty laissez-faire with the ends. I didn't weave in these ones around the neck. I might just trim them a bit shorter. I might just block it first and then see how things unfold, but just because there's so many ends and I feel like they're quite secure, so we will see. Hi, checking in around 3 p.m. on Friday. So it's been a bit of a dreary day, a little low energy. I filmed this morning about finishing my BB sweater, which was really exciting. I filmed my podcast episode, which will be out before this video. Worked on editing that a little bit. I watched a couple of Christmas movies and worked on my fat timeless sweater on the sleeve. Actually, the first Christmas movie I watched while I was mostly just braiding the ends of the BB sweater, and then the second one I watched while working on this sleeve. And then I have still maybe like an hour before I need to fully work on cleaning for my dinner party, and then I'll cook. So I think I'm just going to continue working away at the fat timeless sweater until then. Good morning. It is Saturday morning now, and I finished both sleeves of my fat timeless sweater. It's a little hard to show with one hand, but here's one sleeve, here's the other sleeve. And so now at this point, I think I am just feeling very motivated to blast through and finish the body of this. So that'll be really fun to have another finished object this week. And I think once I'm done with that, then I will probably turn to the caramel sweater and work on one of the sleeves for that. But it's just been really fun. It's like super soft and I love the color, and just like working on some chunky stockinette has been a great time. Hello, it is Sunday morning. I had a pretty busy day yesterday on Saturday, but I was able to get some knitting done. I think I checked in when I had finished both sleeves for the fat timeless sweater, and I worked a little bit on the body, and then I went out and on the subway, and when I was seeing my friend, I worked on my muscle bra hat. So this is growing in length but still not ready for the decreases yet. And then in the evening, I knit up this swatch for my Arundel pullover, and I blocked it overnight, and it is mostly dry. So I'm gonna check my gauge and see if I can get started on the suggested needles. So before blocking, my gauge was a little bit small, I believe. So maybe with blocking, it will be perfect, and we will see. Hi, it is Sunday around, I'm sorry if you can hear the dishwasher in the background. It's Sunday around 6 p.m. I might have mentioned I work Sundays through Thursdays. So I went into the office today, brought my muscle bra hat, which is really coming along. I think I just measured it and it's around 16 inches. I need to get to a little over 19 before I do the decreases. So getting close, looking beautiful. Now that I'm home, I'm working on my fat timeless sweater, and I think I'm on the verge of binding off the body, and then all that's left is to weave in the ends. So I'm gonna work on this and then make dinner in a bit. It is Sunday night around 10 p.m. I finished my fat timeless sweater and immediately wove in all the ends. So it's really hard to show this because it's like a big sweater, but here she is, all done. And then I got started on my Arundel pullover test knit. So I had done the gauge swatch last night, blocked it, dried overnight. I was able to meet gauge, and so I cast on a couple hundred stitches here, and you'll see I put stitch markers usually every 20 stitches when I'm casting on, so that I have an easier time counting. And then in this case I left them because it's a 2x2 rib and it's too dark to see the stitches and to read them, so it's helpful for me to be able to count from from the stitch markers rather than trying to read my stitches, which is what I would usually do. So I think tomorrow morning I should be able to remove them. But literally just casting on this and doing one round of ribbing took me almost an hour. So it was a lot, but I think now that it's all set up, it'll be much quicker, and especially in the morning when I can actually see my stitches, because it's a very dark navy. It's hard to see in this lighting. But that is the update. I'm gonna keep working on this, and then I am going to at some point work on my caramel sweater sleeves. I think that's the last goal that I really need to work towards. So tomorrow I will definitely try to get a start on that. Hello, it is Monday evening around, just looking at the clock, it's around 8:45. I'm wearing my Fat Timeless sweater. Something I really like about it is that because it's made with cotton and brushed alpaca, it is not itchy at all, so I can wear it directly on the skin, with no trouble. And what is there to say? I have been working on my caramel sweater sleeves finally. I brought that to work today, worked on it on the subway and stuff. And I already am about 20 rows into the sleeve, so that's great. I haven't had to start the helical knitting yet, but I basically created a plan in my mind of how I'm gonna kind of divide the remaining yarn from the first dye lot, and then how I'm gonna do helical knitting kind of for like probably the bottom half of each sleeve. But I kind of weighed the remaining yarn before starting, so I'm gonna do it in a very mathematical way so that I use up all of the yarn from the first dye lot and then some from the new dye lot, and then I'll be left with, I think, some from the second dye lot. And now that I'm back home, I'm working on the bottom ribbing for my Arundel pullover test knit. So I'll be probably working on this for another hour or so before bed. We'll see how far we get with this. Thus far, I would say it's hard to estimate, but probably like around 1 centimeter, and I think I need to get to like 4. I'll double check the pattern. So making decent progress on this. I'm excited to get started with the body color work. Hi, it is Tuesday morning, around 8. It is super gloomy. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's very gloomy outside. I'm gonna get a little bit of knitting done before work. Oh, also just wanted to say I will be watching Sari Nordland's podcast while working on my knitting. And I haven't watched her podcast much before, but I came across it in my suggestions, and I love her pattern. She's probably one of, if not my favorite knitwear designer. I love how she incorporates like lace and cables and just amazing texture. So I am enjoying watching that. It's a few days later. I wanted to come back and just give an update and an overview of what I accomplished in this week, and also just kind of share my experience with doing this type of video. So overall, I would say it was such a great and kind of thoughtful experience for me to have this opportunity to set some goals for my knitting for the week and be really intentional about kind of what I wanted to accomplish, how I wanted to divide my time. And I found it really helpful for my productivity and for kind of offsetting a couple of tendencies that I have, either to get really sucked into a particular project when I'm having a fun time with it and kind of ignore other whips that I ideally would like to be making progress on, or on the other side, to sometimes get a bit turned off of a project and procrastinate when it's at a part that I just don't enjoy as much. So I loved really being intentional and thoughtful about how I wanted to divide my time this week. And I also liked the accountability of knowing that I was working on a video about it. But I think in the future, I will still try to be thoughtful and set some goals for myself each week and think about how I want to accomplish things for different projects and divide my time, even if I don't have the accountability of a video. But maybe I can, do this with some knitting friends, or just have the pride of my own accomplishments without like external motivation. So we'll see about that, but I did really enjoy it. And I will say, I think I set my goals maybe a little bit low. Like, I wasn't sure what to expect, and I didn't want to set unreasonable expectations for myself, but I was able to accomplish or surpass my goals for all 5 of the projects that I mentioned. And I wanted to set, reasonable goals that I could certainly meet, but I think in the future, maybe I would try to set a bit loftier goals for myself to be extra motivating. But let me just talk quickly through what I accomplished. So I think my first goal, or at least the one that was most important to me, was to finish my BB sweater, which I did. And I already have talked about this in my last podcast, which went up before this video. When I last checked in, I was definitely stuck on the neck. Maybe I had just started it, and it's 2x2 ribbing. It was on 2.5 millimeter needles. I just wasn't having a great time with it, so it was really helpful to have the intentional motivation of this video to help me get through that. I think the pattern called for like 24 centimeters, and I wound up stopping short of 20 so that the neck isn't too high on me, but I'm happy with it. I'm glad that I kind of pushed myself to finish it rather than procrastinating, and I'm just so pleased with this project. So absolutely loving it. I actually haven't wound up blocking it, which was, I think, one of my goals for the week, but that's because I do like the kind of more cropped, like smaller version of it, and I do expect the yarn to bloom and grow a fair amount when I block it. So I decided I'm gonna maybe get a few more wears out of it in this fit, and then I'll go ahead and block it. But that was my first goal complete. My second goal was regarding the sweater that I'm wearing, so obviously you can see I did meet that goal, and this is the Fat Timeless sweater. I have, I think, a piece of mohair. Got it. So this sweater was working up really quickly, and I think when I last checked in, didn't have a collar. The body was almost done. I had left the bottom stitches on hold just because I wasn't quite sure how long I wanted to make it. And I think I was about halfway done with the first sleeve. So I just really blasted through. There are no increases or decreases in the sleeve, which leads to this kind of nice flared look, but it's actually just like straight. And so my goal was to finish the first sleeve and start the second sleeve and maybe finish it. But because I was having so much fun, it was just easy stockinette on 6 millimeter needles. I just like blasted through. I finished the first sleeve, started the second sleeve, and then I just went ahead and picked up the collar, finished the collar, and also finished the body. So yeah, I'm feeling really happy with it. It is a cotton held with a brushed alpaca, so it's really soft. I'm wearing it against my skin, and it's really cozy. It looks a little bit casual. I mostly have just been wearing it like around the apartment, but I think maybe in spring I'll wear it more often. And I could see myself making a darker color version that might be more versatile. This one, now that I see it, is a bit like springtime vibes, at least in my mind. And it's nice that it's like a lighter texture, so I can easily wear it as a cozy home sweater in any season, basically, or maybe I'll wear it out in the spring. But I'm super happy with this. It was very motivating to just like blast through it and surpass my goal, so that was great. The next thing I want to talk about is my muscle bra hat. Because I'm filming this a few days later, actually I've finished this, but when I showed the video, I think I was under halfway, and my goal was maybe to get to like halfway or 3/4. And by the end of my week of knitting, I had gotten to the decreases. So I had gotten pretty far in knitting this, and this is a really easy one to just kind of knit on the subway. I think I included a clip, like knit when hanging out with friends, because it was just like endless stockinette until the decreases. So in the past few days, I went ahead and I did finish the decreases as well, and I'm very excited about this project too. The next goal that I recall was for my caramel sweater, which I was feeling a little bit avoidant of, because I think I had mentioned I started this last winter and I didn't run out of yarn, but it was like obvious that I would. So I waited until this season with my big online yarn order to order more. Unsurprisingly, it's from a different dye lot, so I just kind of been putting off figuring out how to avoid like color blocking with a new dye lot. And so my week of knitting motivated me to like sit down, figure out a plan. I weighed how much yarn I had left from the old dye lot, and I decided that I will knit down until I've used 1/3 of my remaining yarn. Then I'll start helical knitting. When I have half of the old dye lot left, then I'll cut it and just continue with the new one, but that will provide like a section of blending that I think should be good. And then I'll repeat the same thing on the other sleeve. So I think my goal for this week was just to make a plan for how to balance my old and new dye lots, and then to get started on the sleeve, which I did. I think I'm about 40 rows in, started on the decreases, and I still am able to use my 16-inch circulars, but I think somewhat soon I'll have to go to DPNs. But I'm really happy with it. I love this sweater. I really do want to put more attention towards it and hopefully finish it by Christmas, because I think it's such a beautiful, like, festive color. So yeah, I think once I finish the next project I'll talk about, this will be my main focus. And I'm glad, again, that this week of knitting motivated me to tackle that and confront it. The last goal I had was for the Arundel sweater pullover that I'm test knitting. I just wanted to do a gauge swatch and cast on, and I've worked on it. This has been the main thing I've been working on for the past few days, so I have a lot more progress, but I think you saw in the rest of the video, I did make my gauge swatch, I did cast on, and then for my week of knitting, I got to about here, like about halfway through the first colorwork motif, which I was really happy with. And obviously since then I've been blasting through it since it's so fun. It is like a DK weight yarn on 4mm needles. It's only 2 colors. So after the BB sweater, which obviously is very chaotic, this one is really fun and is flying by. So that is all 5 of the projects that I worked on in my week of knitting. I am really happy, like I said, with the progress, and I'm excited to maybe film another video like this in the future, especially if there's ever a time where I have a lot of whips and maybe I'm feeling stuck on some of them. It was very motivating and helpful. So let me know if you enjoyed this video, if you'd like to see another video like this. Let me know what you're working on, and if you're a monogamous knitter, or if you also like to kind of juggle different projects. And hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye.